guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Whistleblower channel, the only channel that really cares about helping people majorly from Africa to be able to migrate to other parts of the world to be able to chase their dreams without the need of having an agent or paying a dime to anybody. So you're welcome. This is my first video in 2024, and I feel what I'm going to be showing to you guys today or telling you people today is something that is going to be of interest to many people who already have their first degree or would probably be having their first degree in 2024. So you guys have to listen attentively or jot down anything or the steps in which I'm going to be listing here for those who would actually be really interested in being able to migrate to basically the US or Canada to study for their postgraduate programs. So, and basically I'm talking about those who want to do an MSc or PhD, and that is why I have decided to record this video. So it's not something that is going to be very long, but it's going to be fully packed with a lot of information and stuffs that you need to know before you are able to apply. So at the end of this video, I would also be stating or saying how students from Africa can be able to get a loan to study in either the United States or Canada. So there are a few things I actually learned in the past few days. Not like I didn't know them before, but I never knew it was really that relevant in being able to get scholarships to study abroad. So especially in Canada, I don't really know much about the US, but in Canada, I know about this particular thing that I'll be talking about today. So basically, before we move into that, those who already have their first degrees and are looking to be able to study their master's or PhD in Canada. Those who already have their masters would already be conversant with things like this, but those who are just graduating from the university and now want to study and majorly have a first class or a second class upper or even a second class lower. So this video is basically for you. Even those with third class can also try and see if they'll be fortunate. I'm not ruling anything out. Sometimes some people they're just being fortunate with things that many other people do not tend to get away with. And it all boils down to doing the work that is required. They say when preparation meets opportunity, you know how that goes. So you definitely get what you want if you have prepared very well to be able to get these programs. So here in Canada, basically, there are two types of masters. So there is a course-based masters and there is a thesis-based masters. So some universities or some courses actually have, or they do the course-based masters, whereby it's just like going to class normally during the undergraduate days. You go to class, you receive lectures, you sit down for an exam, you pass, then boom, you are issued your certificate, or you have a master's in this, master's in that. All well and good, it's still masters. However, the thesis-based masters is you having to do a research, all through your studies. So sometimes it is always mixed. You have to go to class as well, but majorly it is research. So, in Canada, basically, that is what the government funds, or those private institutions who have money, that is what they fund, the thesis-based masters. So in Canada, if you apply for master's degree, you are automatically being assessed to see if you'd be able to get a scholarship. Whether you apply for scholarship or not, most times you would actually be on a list to see if you are eligible to be able to get a scholarship. And if it is not a full scholarship, sometimes it's partial, stuff like that, but you automatically be evaluated to see if you can get a scholarship. Don't mind me if you see me looking sideways. I'm looking at my laptop so that I'll be able to give you the correct information. So what you actually need to be able to apply for your master's program in Canada or anywhere in the world is to know your research interests. You know what you did in your undergraduate, then probably what you did that's based on your what's it called, your undergraduate project that you did. So you probably can use that as part of your research interest, or even if it is something else, then you guys can try to Google exactly what research interest is. I know it, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to explain to you guys on this video. But then your research interest is basically something that you really want to do, like what you want to research on in the university. When you are doing your MSc program, then you should be able to write a statement of research. So this, I've not done it before, but there are a lot of information on how to do this on YouTube, on Twitter, and some Telegram groups I've joined. There are a lot of them like that. They give hints, they tell you this is how you need to write your statement of research so that it can get you noticed and stuff like that. Then you check for schools that actually have MSc programs that are tailored towards that kind of research that you want to do. So because you studied biology now, some schools, the kind of biology they actually based on is different. So some are probably on ecology, some genetics, they have different kind of lecturers. Depending on how big the school is and how many more lecturers they have, then you can have more branches in biology. I'm just using biology as an example. So that is exactly how it is. So you need to look for a school that has an MSc program or a PhD program that is tailored towards your research interest. Then lastly, before you even apply to study MSc or pay any fees to the university or whatsoever, you need to contact a potential supervisor. So this is very, very important. So the supervisor needs to let you know that, see, okay, I'll be ready to be your supervisor while you are a student, an MSc student. So if none of these guys, none of these professor or doctors reply you for you to be their student or to be under them, then trust me, the university is not going to give you admission and you will just waste your money. So for you to be able to contact these professors or people who are your potential supervisors, you need to learn to write what is called cold emailing. So this cold emailing is what will help you to get noticed by your potential supervisor, for them to reach out to you, probably interview you and stuff like that before they agree to the fact that, okay, you can actually be my student. Then you can go ahead and apply for the master's or PhD program. So that being said, that is basically what you need to do to be able to get to apply for a master's program in Canada. So it is also the same thing in the United States, but one thing I don't know about the United States is if you apply for an MSc program, you would be automatically considered for a scholarship. However, in Canada, if you apply for an MSc program and it's a thesis-based MSc or PhD program, you are automatically evaluated or considered for a scholarship. So you can either be full, could be partial, but most times people who graduate with a first class often get the full scholarship. We don't have many people graduating with the first class, but those who do, they often get a full scholarship. Now, for those who are based in the USA, while you are writing your statement of purpose or cold emailing to your professor or potential supervisor, that is your best bet of being able to get a scholarship. So the potential supervisor will tell you if they have funding and will be able to foot the bills for you so that you can study on scholarship in their university. That is for the United States. I'm not sure if you apply for an MSc directly, they will consider you for masters and stuff like that. So you need to check the school websites that you want to apply to. Check all the admission requirements. Once you are sure that you have everything, then you can cold email the supervisor, your potential supervisor rather, and then see if he or she agrees to be your supervisor. Once they agree, then you are most likely going to be able to get the admission. Mind you, remember that you'll be competing with thousands or hundreds of other candidates. So all the requirements that is needed, even if you feel one is not compulsory because you are a student from one region of the world, especially those of us that are from Africa, which I called a disadvantaged part of the world because of what Africa looks like, basically. So it's not our fault that we are from there, but it is what it is. So we are competing with a lot of students that are highly advantaged than we are, especially where we're coming from. So we need to be at our very best and at the top to be able to get those opportunities that those guys are also getting. So that is it about applying to USA for MSc or Canada for MSc. So now the last part of this video is that, like I said, Africa honestly is probably some countries actually, but most of us, West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, we come from a place whereby it is very tough to, to make ends meet, not to even talk of paying thousands of dollars for school fees and stuff like that. So oftentimes we are always going after one, if we'll be able to get scholarships or get a loan to study and pay back while we study. So recently, I've always heard about it, but I've just never been serious enough to take a look at it. But recently, I decided to go deep and check with few individuals who were able to get a loan from this particular company. And they do this without a cosigner. So you don't need anybody to be like a guarantor for you that, you are going to return the money and stuff like that, because definitely they'll get their money. So the name of this company is actually Empower. So Empower helps students who have been admitted to study for master's or PhD program. I don't think it's just master's or PhD program. I'm not really sure, but majorly that is what they fund. But if you are coming to Canada or the US, they are ready to fund your education. And one person I know and others whom I've read their stories got between $30,000 to $55,000 or $60,000 to fund their education in Canada. And I don't know, depending on the agreement, you probably have about 10 years to pay the whole fees. So if you get something like that for somebody who is coming from Africa, especially if you are coming from an MSE program or a PhD program, which is just between 2 to 4 years, this is a huge jackpot, and it's something I feel many of us who are actually coming from Africa should take advantage of, since where we come from does not give us the opportunity to do stuff like this. So be at the top of your game, apply to Empower. Now, for you to be able to get this Empower loan, you need to first get admission with the university, and they don't partner with all universities. So in the description of this video, I will be leaving a link to an Excel sheet or a PDF file where you can check the universities that Empower partners with. So you don't just go ahead and apply to any school and feel, when I get the admission, Empower will be able to fund my school fees or my tuition or whatsoever. No. So you check the list before you apply. You apply to universities on that list. Then once you get the admission, you contact Empower. Once Empower knows that you have been able to get the admission, they will be ready to fund your education. So that is just the gist. So guys, especially those of us from Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Ethiopia, South Africa, this is an opportunity for us, or for those who are still back home, to be able to move abroad. So majority of the schools that Empower funds are in the United States, and very few are in Canada. So, and funny enough, United States is actually a very good place for those who even graduated with a third class. They would definitely see some schools that would be ready to admit them for masters in their school, if provided that you are able to meet all the other requirements. If there are exams for you to write, please go ahead and write them. You need to ace these exams so that you'll be automatically considered, probably for scholarship, or when you get the admission, you can contact Empower for them to be able to loan you some cash for you to study. So you won't have financial burden while you're studying. You don't have to work your ass out to be able to pay fees and stuff like that. So that is the information I have for you today, guys, and I hope this video reaches the right people. Is it reach or reaches? I'm not even sure any longer. So I hope this video reached the right people actually, or those who really need it, so they can be able to make that move and hopefully create a better life for themselves than what Africa currently has to provide. Thank you very much. See you on the next video. And please, if you really enjoy my videos or you feel you are benefiting from what I'm saying, the information I'm giving to you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors. Thank you very much.